Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. I am Heather and we are a fun, fabulous sewing tutorial channel. Well, not just tutorials, all the fun sewing things. Today we are doing a tutorial though. We are kicking off our summer sewing. I know it's May, but we're doing our summer sewing so that we can get everything up on our website. We can do a little summer haul. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So we're starting that now, and we are doing one of my all-time favorite bags today, you guys. I have made so many of these, and they always come out so different. Today we are doing the Ocean Tide shoulder bag from Needle and Anchor Patterns. We're making the small size today, but the small is not small, and we're doing a little modification that I'm so excited about. I know I teased this in the last video. It's here. Are you ready? You want to see it? Okay, I won't make you wait any longer. Here we go, you guys. The bow is our modification. It seems like everything has bows on it these days, and you guys, I am so here for the bows. I am. So this is the bag we're making today. We did modify the handle to have this bow, and we're stitching it directly on. I'm giving you the measurements for this bow today as soon as we get over to the sewing machine. That way, if you want to make this bag with me, you can. We're just going to retie it back up here so you can see. All right, so the bow makes the handle adjustable. We've got our, excuse me guys, I'm sorry. We have our recycled material. This is made from plastic water bottles, you guys, and our whale sharks, which are my absolute favorite. This is why I was so excited about this material, is because it's made from recycled plastics. I love the ocean. I love all the ocean animals. I am fascinated by what goes on in the ocean and all that we don't know about the ocean. And so the fact that this whale shark material is made from recycled plastic meant a lot to me, because I'm all for getting rid of the plastic. All here for it. So that's what we're using for our exterior. Our interior is just a white otter text, and then we make a fun little slip pocket here out of a material that I can't pronounce. Here we are. I'm going to spell it for you when we get to the machine, and you can tell me what it is, you know. I don't know, guys, you know, there's only so much you can do. Only so much. But look, we've got our cute shoulder bag with our bow that is so 2025. Everything has a bow on it. I actually saw a bow beach bag and I was like, okay, what can I can't even show you. What can I make that has a bow on it that's beachy? So that's what we're doing today. If you are new to the channel, I hope you love it here. Definitely stay tuned. We're going to head on over to the machine and we're going to get going on this beautiful bag, you guys. Such cool shape. This is, very beginner friendly. If you've never made this, grab the pattern so you can sew along with me. It is so easy, so beginner friendly. It's great to sort of sharpen skills, to build new ones. It's just a really fun bag. It's quite large, fits a lot, and totally on trend. Let's head on over to the machine and get going. All right, you guys, we're at the machine, which is a Juki TL2010Q. We're using Tex 35 weight thread in white from Wizardry Stitchery on the top and in the bobbin. We have a Microtex 9014 needle. We have our brand new thick throat plate. Yes, this is the first time we're using it. We're doing it together like we do all of our things. So I'm sure it'll be fine. And we're using the tank foot. The number on the side, you guys, for anyone looking for it, is KT141. I got it from Soulful Therapy a long time ago. It's basically a walking foot without the bulk in the back. But there have been people who have been able to find it on eBay and Amazon, so I just wanted to share that. I don't have any links for it, so apologies, that will not be linked anywhere. But that's where I got mine, and happy hunting if you're looking for one. I hope you find it. All right, so we're going to just go over our materials briefly. So we've got some scrap Decaville heavy that we're going to use for our snap. We are closing the bag with a magnetic snap that we're going to use our rivet press for. And I might actually bring the rivet press over here and show you guys that step, which I typically leave out. We are using one of our bag tags from Heartwood and Hide Co. So this is custom made. I'll have this linked below. And I thought just the color was perfect. So it's a cork. We're going to use that. So I'm going to keep that out because we're going to put it on the exterior. And then we're going to save these. We got this. I'm going to say this wrong and don't come for me. It's spelled V-O-I-L-E. I'm going to call it voile. Voile? That's what we're going to go with. It's probably not right. That's okay with me. But it reminded me of the sea. And since we're going with that sort of theme here, we're going to make just a slip pocket with this. So like, it's more like meshy. It's going to go on the inside. Obviously it's not going to be super sturdy and I'm totally fine with that. I just think it is going to be such a cute addition to the white interior. So we've got that. I'm going to set this to the side for now since that's the inside. We have our exterior, and this is from Spoonflower. Our big old whale sharks. Love, love, love. So we're going to keep our exteriors for now. Okay. And then we've got our interior pieces. And this is just a white waterproof canvas. It's an Otter Text. This is also, where is this from? This is from Wholesale Fabric Direct, I think. Man, you guys. Oh boy. Well, it'll be linked because I did buy it recently. But anyways, that's where this is from. It's got this like, I'm going to bring it a little close, real thick backing. I love this stuff. It's awesome. So that's what we're doing for the interior. And then I'm going to, if you're sewing along with us, so if you saw my last video, you know this is what we were doing next, and you're planning to sew along, we have 2 extra cuts, okay? These are 3.5 inches wide by 24 inches long. So if you want to make your bag with the bow closure like I'm doing, that's what you want to stop right now and cut out of your exterior fabric. Okay, so 3.5 inches wide, 24 inches long. And you want 2 of those. That's what's going to make our shoulder strap. Not in the original pattern. We're adding it on because bows, they're in, you guys. They're in. Can't get away from them. And I kind of really love them. So you're stuck with them because I can't get over them either. Here we are. All right. We're going to attach our bag tag. And I just like rando spots down here on the bottom. So no measurement because we're just going for it. And so I'm just taking some double-sided tape here. I'm going to stick it on the back. And we're just going to attach this nice and easily. I'm not a huge center person for tags, and that's because I am not a good centerer of things. So they always come out crooked. And then I get mad at myself. And so I find that if you just like put it off to the side, even if it's crooked, like nobody's noticing. So we're just eyeballing it. Okay. All right. Stitch this baby on. And you just go about 1/8 of an inch around the whole thing. It's pretty, it's easy peas. I do back stitch. Some people pull their threads. I do not. But you can. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just living my life the lazy girl way. We're back stitching. There's nothing wrong with that either. If you know, you know. Just gonna snip off our extra so that it doesn't get in there. But this teal is like the perfect summer color, so we had to do it. I like mixing up our bag tag options. There we go. All right, so there we are. We're set. Now, I am going to just go off camera briefly and make the marks on the pattern for where we're going to make our pleats on the bottom. One of the things that I love about this pattern and this pattern designer is that every single mark that you need is on the pattern. You do not have to measure. It is literally perfect for lazy girl Heather and anybody else who is feeling that way. All right, so I'm just gonna, I don't want to show the pattern, so off camera, I'm just gonna make the marks, then we'll come back together. All right, so we've got our marks down here, and we've already done it on one of our other panels. But so this bag has no gusset, and so to give it shape, we're sort of creating that little bump out at the bottom, and it gives it like this really fabulous, flowy, oceany shape without doing a gusset, which makes it really beginner friendly. So we're just gonna take our dots down here, and you want to place them together. Like so. Okay, and then you take it, and we're folding in towards the center here, and we're just going to baste this down. And a baste is just 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. And so you can see now we've got one little shape. And then we are going to combine those dots here again, fold to the center, and make our second. And that is the most difficult part of the exterior, you guys. Look at us, we're cruising along. Okay, done. See, easy peasy, cute shape. All right, so now we're taking our exteriors and we're putting them right sides together. Okay, and we want to match up our pleats on the bottom. That will help ensure that we have a really nice shape. And then we'll sort of just keep clipping. And you can see up here towards the top, we have another dot, and we're gonna find the same thing over here on this side. And that's our start and stop point for stitching. And those are actually really important because we need to make sure that we don't stitch too far up and interfere with our final putting together of our bag. All right, so there we go. We're all stitched. We're gonna start at our first dot, and we're gonna sew all the way around till we make it back to our other dot, and we're sewing at a 3/8 inch seam allowance here, all the way around. a really easy curve, so if you're newer to curves, this is also a great pattern to learn how to sort of keep this material on that line as it's coming towards you. All right, there we go. So the exterior of our bag is taking shape, and we can set this to the side for now. We are done with it as it is. We're gonna go ahead and grab one of our lining panels. Let's see here. Which lining panel do we want? All right, that's perfect because I want our name tag to be on the front. So this is OtterTex. It's going to crease really nicely. And before we do our pleats on the bottom, we're going to attach our slip pocket and our magnetic snaps. So the inside has a little more work to it than the outside. And we're just going to take our voile, okay, and we're going to stitch. There's no right or wrong side to this either, you guys, so there's that. We're just going to stitch down both sides, and we're going to leave a little turn hole down here at the bottom. Never used this material before. I have no idea how it's going to go. So, like we do, we're finding out together. Seems to sew a bit like silk. I'll measure this for you guys too, so you know how. If you want to make one of these, you could use a normal fabric. That will probably turn out a little better. Oh yeah, got some ruffle. Inadvertent ruffling going on here. We'll see. We'll see, you guys. We might have to change our tactic here. All right, I kind of like the wave that it got, and you know what, we're just going with it, you know, so whatever happens, happens. All right, let me find my good scissors here. Nowhere to be found? Cool, okay. Okay, all right, well, let's measure this before I cut it. Let's measure. All right, so we're looking at 9.5 by 9.5, you guys. So this was folded over, so that would be 19 inches by 9.5. So 19 inches tall and a fold over by 9.5, or two pieces at 9.5 by 9.5. All right, now we're good to do a little trimming. let's see. We're going to turn it, see what happens. You know, this is one of those things about sewing. You never know until you know. And this pocket obviously was never meant to hold a significant amount of weight or anything like that. Sheer material and all. Oh no, making a disastrous mess. All right, let's see here. Okay, it's cute. We're gonna keep her. She's a cutie. Okay, so silly. Let me just clear off these pieces. All right, we're gonna put a top stitch in here before we attach it to our pocket or our lining. So cute. Okay. It actually worked out that it looks like ocean waves. All right, we'll just trim those up. And then we want to find just the center. And we're going to eyeball it. Eyeball it. All right. So there we go. Now we're just going to stitch her right down on all three of the sides that we didn't just top stitch. Again, we're just kind of eyeballing. We're winging it. Looks like we're about 1.5 inches down from the top. Again, this is more for aesthetics than to hold anything, but you know what? That's okay. And this side here is the side that still has an opening, so we're just going to make sure that that stays nice and flat. Our turn hole ended up on the side, so that's fine. And here we go, our little ocean pocket. It's actually super cute, you guys. That's adorable. So cute. Look at it. All right. Now, sorry. The only other thing that we need to do, I want to install our snap. So off camera, I am just going to use, again, the pattern piece has where you want to put your snap. So we're just going to line that up and use our air erasing pen to make a mark. And I will press these together on camera for you so you can see how our magnetic snap rivets work, but I'm going to make those marks off camera and I'll be right back. All right, so we've got our green machine, which is from Cam Snaps, and we have made our mark and punched out the hole. So we're just going to grab So we're just grabbing a male end And then we need to grab our Decaville scrap piece. You always want to reinforce your snaps regardless of what kind of snap you're using. We're just gonna punch a little hole out of the center. Okay. So then you just take your snap, stick it in, put the Decaville, and pop it on. Okay. And then we're gonna take our snap, we're gonna put it in our press. And we're just pushing right down. Okay. And that's our snap, you guys. All set. See how easy that is? And you don't have to put like tape over the back of it or anything like that because it's not going to ever interfere with anything that you're doing. And I just like to take a little bit of that top Decaville off so it doesn't get in our way later when we do our top stitch. So I'm just going to grab our second lining piece. I'm going to put the female side on, and I'm going to go ahead and make our pleats too because it's exactly the same as the exterior. And I'm going to put our marks so we can stitch together our lining again in exactly the same way as we already did. And then we'll come back and we're putting the bag together already. So super fast, you guys, as promised. Just making sure that's in there. It is. All right, so I'm going to do those steps and we'll come back. All right, so we've made our pleats and we have clipped our interior. Our snaps are done. Now, the one thing different about the interior is that we need to leave a turn hole to turn our bag through. Now, I do not like to leave it at the bottom because we've got these nice pleats, and I like to make sure that that's all sewn up. So we're actually going to leave it on the side over here. Okay, so we're just going to leave a nice hole to pull our bag through. Nothing wild and crazy, but don't forget it because it is going to be important later. And same thing, you just want to make sure your seam allowance is the same as your exterior. That way it'll fit in nicely. This Ottertex is pretty thick, so I'm just gonna like take my time down here where we have 4 layers. Oh, I forgot to leave a turn hole, you guys. Almost didn't catch it. All right, we are gonna back ourselves out here. See, mistakes happen. I was in the groove, I'm listening to it so nicely with this thick throw plate. Didn't even recognize that I'd gone too far. So we're gonna get out our handy dandy seam ripper. Now you guys know I am not somebody who pretends like I don't make mistakes. So I don't leave things like this out. Nobody is perfect. We are all just who we are. And sometimes I like the sound of the sewing machine so much that I forget what we're doing. And that just happened to us, but that is okay. Boy, it was sewing so nice though, right? I mean, like, who could blame me right here? Who? Nobody. You know that sound when you're in the groove. All right, we're just gonna unpick just a few more, and then we'll go in and just stitch down our stitches with a couple of back stitches. So we'll get this all set. Okay, I think we're good there, you guys. I think we are in good shape. All right, so to fix this, super simple, okay? We're just gonna go right a couple stitches down to where we already stitched. And we're gonna put in some back stitches there just to reinforce that seam, okay? Now we're gonna leave our turn hole and a pretty good amount of it. So we can get our hand in here. I like that. And then we'll just start again. No crisis. We're good. There we go. So we've got this whole side here open. Totally fine. We're good. All right, let's grab our, and we're gonna save our bow handle till the end. All right. So we need to, we want to put our interior right side out. And we're just kind of smushing. We'll do our final, excuse me guys, smush later. All right, and then we want to take our exterior. All right, we're good. So these are right sides together, and we're basically gonna come in here and just kind of match everything up, and we're gonna clip along all the sides that we have open, including these bits right here. All right, so we're all clipped, and we're gonna stitch around the entire thing. And on these sides here, it's gonna be really important that we come down to where our stitching began. And that's sort of, we come down and then we go over, and that's gonna close up our sides really nicely. Now, it does not matter where you start. You can start stitching anywhere you want, because we are going around the entire thing. I should have checked my bobbin first. Here we are. Here we are. All right, now we're doing this at a 3/8 inch seam allowance as well. Just make sure everything you don't want to stitch at this exact moment is out of the way. And the backside of my canvas is a little waxy, so sticking a little bit, but it's not too bad. Okay, so as we come down to where our handle piece connects to our bag, I'm just making sure to open that up. Okay, and we just have a gentle curve here at the top, so just be mindful of that. Almost done here, you guys. And we are going all the way around. Okay, and then again, here's where we want to make sure we sort of flatten everything out as we're coming back on that seam. And then right back to where we started. We'll go over a few and just back stitch. All right. All together, you guys. So we're just going to cut our corners up here. This one had a little overhang, so we're cutting that also. And then we're gonna take our peeking shears. This like sometimes works for me and sometimes doesn't. And we kind of just want to cut around the curve here. If you don't have peeking shears, you can just sort of make little slits, but it'll just help it when you turn it out. Okay, I'm going to keep doing that all the way around on our curves, but and then I'm also just going to trim down our sides here as well. Nothing crazy, just to sort of slim down our seam allowance a bit. around the exterior. Okay, so I'm going to finish up with those peeking shears and then we will turn this out. All right, so we are going to find our turn hole. Reach on in here. And give her a turn. Here we go. It's my favorite dance, the gentle, not so gentle. All right, so one thing that we need to do is make sure that we get in here. And we really need to push out those handle pieces. So we'll need to grab, I actually have welding rods, not a sewing tool, but we're gonna grab those to help get those out. I use them to turn like really long, I'll actually probably use them to turn the bows also. Long, thin pieces of material. They work so good. All right, so we're gonna let those hang out for now. We'll just push out our bag. Let me grab a rod. So this is a welding rod. If you've never seen one. Just gonna get in here and just gently push the material. And they do make actual sewing tools for this, so definitely feel free. Use whatever you have. The trick here is always just that you gotta find that mix between too hard and not hard enough. Sorry guys. So I'm just gonna keep working these out until we get them where we want them, and then we can move on to our top stitch. All right, we are clipped, ready to top stitch around the top. We have not sewn up our turn hole yet. Now I am gonna start stitching on one of our handle ends because we're gonna put the bow ending over this excuse me guys, over this anyway, so you will not see this start and stop point at all. Still battling this cold that I've had for weeks. And I can't get over it because my son plays sports outside and keeps raining. So here we are in perpetual sickness. That's okay though. It's worth it, right? Needs to sleep at night. And we're just top stitching 1/8 of an inch away. confident that my bobbin looks the same as my top stitch, so I am top stitching this with the right side down so it'll get the bobbin side. If you're not sure about your machine or if your bobbin thread is different, you can turn this around, stitch from the other side. Totally up to you. Just make sure where you're stitching is nice and flat. It does have a little bit of a bulky bit where those seams come together here. So we're just going to be super mindful of that and just go slow, be patient, utilize our thick throat plate. You can hear as it gets sort of more into that material. And those little bits that's the hardest part of your top stitch here in this bag. It's so simple. We got these ends turned out pretty good. We also, while we were clipping, wound a new bobbin in here so that we did not run out on our top stitch because we were dangerously close. And I think the last time we've sewn together, I've run out twice. So, you know, I'm trying. And you do want to keep that slight curve to the bag. So again, just make sure where you're stitching is nice and flat. More than halfway done. Okay, and we're coming to just the other thick part here. Just trying to separate as much as possible. We're going to take our time. This one's a little thicker. Okay, we're almost back to where we started. And we'll just go back and backstitch. There we go. Now, if we were doing a traditional bag, this is where we would attach our gate rings and then our top handle. But because we're not doing that, look how cute it is. All right, we're gonna close up our seam, our turn hole here. So we're just gonna push it out. It is slightly curved, so something to keep in mind. You can't just kind of stick your fingers in there and make the hole. Because we're on the curve, we're gonna have to sort of remake that curve. That way it does not go in too much. All right. Go ahead and stitch that up. I like to start a little past where the hole is, do a nice back stitch. And we left this turn hole on the side, so very much likely to never be seen. Ever. And we're just going to go a little past and do another back stitch. Alright, get that back in there. Sort of fan it out with our hands, our fingers. There we go. See? Perfect. All right, we're gonna set our bag to the side for now. We're gonna grab our 2 bow pieces. All right. Now we're gonna take these and we're going to fold them over. You can clip if you want. I'm just gonna keep it folded as we go. We're actually going to, from this folded edge, we're gonna make a 45-degree angle down, and then we're gonna leave a 1/4 inch seam allowance. That's gonna give us our little bow tie end. And then right there at a 1/4. And all the way down. Okay, so we're going to come in here and we're going to cut off our excess. And we're going to cut off our corner. And then we're going to do the same thing for this fella. And then we're going to turn these. And we're going to turn them by using the, you just need something long really. And I'll show you quickly. I won't show you the whole thing because I have to put it in my lap. But you basically open it up, you get a little something on it so that it has something to sort of push against. And then we're going to work it all the way down. Maybe I can show you. Maybe I can. Sorry guys, I gotta move out of the camera here for 1 second. There we go. Okay. So while we're in here, we just really want to try to find that end. All right, so we have enough. I'm gonna leave it like that. That way we can get our stiletto in here. If we can. Nope. All right, we'll grab just anything really that can help you push out this tail. In its entirety. We want to get that nice little bow look. Okay, and then you just pull it like so. All right, so there's one. Let's see. Basically just going to fold the end in on itself. We might need to open that up just a little bit. See, we're learning. We're learning together. Or we can go ahead, fold it over, stitch it closed. There we go. That's how it'll work out, you guys. Perfect. All right, so we're going to leave it as is because we want a nice tight fit. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this one, and then we will stitch our bow shoulders on. Okay, you guys, we're on the last step. Do it. Leave everything alone. I realized it's just like, it's totally fine the way that it is. So yeah, we're going to leave everything be. We like pinched these and stuck them up, and it flattened out our bottom, and we basically rolled in our bow handles about 1.5 inches. Okay, and then we've got about 1.25 inches of our handle, our original handle, down. Now it doesn't matter if it's like exactly perfect or not, because you're never gonna notice. All right, and we're just gonna stitch these down, guys. It's like literally so easy. So we're not using hardware, we're just stitching these on. Then we'll be able to, we're gonna do 1/8 inch away from where we're coming together, and we're gonna do that part first, and then we'll do a second line. But then we're gonna be able to tie this, and you can make it shorter, longer. It's gonna work for so many different people and lengths. So if you're making this to sell it, perfect. If you're making it for you, also perfect. All right, so that's one stitch, and then we're gonna go about 1/4 inch above that and do another. You could also use rivets here if you want. I actually think we'll probably do a 3rd stitch as well, because why not? Never have too many stitches. We are back stitching. This is the cutest thing. Oh my gosh. All right, we're going for 3. Okay, see, look at that. We're gonna cut off those edges, but so cute. All right, so we're gonna do our other one here. And we're going to do 3 on this side as well. And one more. Oh yeah, you guys. Oh my gosh. This is so cute. All right, we'll cut off our threads. And then we're going to take this over to our finish table, tie up our bow strap, and see what we're working with. Okay, you guys, stop it right now. I had no idea if this would work or not. Seriously, no idea. I was just winging it and hoping for the best. But we got, I'm going to come a little closer. We got our straps sewn on. Okay, on both sides. I actually love it. So we didn't use any hardware there. Usually we would use a gate ring or an O-ring. We used nothing. We're just gonna give it a nice little tie. I love that this now is fully adjustable because you can tie it at different heights. And there we go. There's our on-trend bow beach bag. Now this is probably a purse that I would use on vacation. It's nice and open. I can't see. It's nice and open. Obviously we have a magnetic snap. One of my fave things about this pattern is that you see that little bit of inside, and so like the contrast on it is awesome. There's really no right or wrong side either. The back and front, they look exactly the same. We've got those pleats on the bottom that give us awesome shape without having to make a gusset, which is why this is such a beginner-friendly bag that really anybody in any level can make. These are so fast to make if you have advanced sewing skills, and if you're new or a beginner, it's so easy. We didn't use vinyl today. We did use heavy canvas on the inside, so if you're not familiar with that sort of material, I would definitely pick something else. But this recycled material, it's not heavy at all. It's so easy to sew through. And if you love the ocean like me, you can always go get some recycled material yourself. But for the first item of our summer drop, this came out really good. I'm so happy with it. Love my whale sharks. I don't know how I'm going to let this one go. Don't tell anybody I said that who lives in this house with me. But we're done. I'm happy. It's so cute. Great snap. Great inside that also looks like the ocean. Totally here for it, you guys. Well, I hope that you enjoyed today. If you did, make sure you drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Unless it's mean, and then you can keep it to yourself. Give me a like. Subscribe if you haven't. If you have, thank you. Thank you so much. You know I love you guys. I love you being here with me. I love all your comments and your vibes. They're so fabulous, and they really just give me so much life. So I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you soon.